Hi everybody, I'm here today with the lovely Amy.
Hi, Karen.
Hey, hello Amy. I was just saying to you, it's ages since we've done a bit of a video together, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And I just wanted to say, for someone like Nathan, especially on the Unscrambled channel, he always puts Karen and Amy. Have you noticed that?
Yes, that's so nice.
Yeah, so you're big part sun and moon, Amy.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, thank you, Nathan. Oh, thank you, everybody who leaves comments and all the messages. Most of them are lovely because nearly everybody understands what's going on or is waking up, and then they say, oh, I saw this, or I realised that. There aren't many people who disagree with what I'm saying except YouTube.
That's right.
Like the strike when this other video is still playing, but I get a strike for it. Just so biased. But anyway, it has made me think about how many videos I want to make, but sometimes you just have to make a video, and that's what we're here for, isn't it, Amy?
That's right, Karen, we are.
I was watching, because this is very different to the video I made yesterday. Anyway, I like doing the differences, but I was watching this video with Preston, and he's explaining how the seasons and the sun work. There's a little picture here, it kind of explains it in a way here. Obviously, one is winter and one is summer. And I like to say that I actually agree with Preston. The only difference we have is that where he is in America, probably, like I was saying to Amy, it gets dark at, say, 5 in the winter and it gets dark at 7, 8 in the summer. The difference is 3 hours. We get 6, 7 hours difference. So the time each day it gets darker, and I kind of worked it out, right? It's a bit longer. And then each month, so from when it's starting to get light, the first month is an hour, second month an hour, third month an hour, fourth this, so that by the time we've got to June, it's getting dark at 10, 10:30 at night, and then we've got 6 hours back and an hour, and don't forget there's 2 changes, one goes forward, one goes back. So even those are included because they take an hour off and that takes an hour off and puts an hour on, doesn't it? But anyway, you've got those changes, but basically it all works its way back to getting then dark at the worst point in December, about 3:30, and then in the summer, at that point where it's the lightest, probably nearer 11, but I'll say 10:30 because, it's getting dark and there's a bit of light in the sky. But I like the way that Preston's explaining this because, for instance, say it's this way round, but I can't see the little pictures, so I don't quite know which way round it is, but this will be winter, and then that's summer, and then that's going back to winter, and it comes up at one place in the winter and one place in the summer. For me, it's very south in the winter and very north in the summer, but it has to be because Europe's over there behind that sun. It has to be go north. But I just thought that was quite interesting because, with all this crap they've put round us on the television and, whatever is going on, we are then moving away from research, and research is just as important. I want to know what we're living on and what we're living in. And again, I just wondered how many other people have watched how that sun works. I never see any circling. Even when you look at his picture, there's no circling. It's like a triangle. Everything's like triangles up there, even if they're wonky shaped triangles. Or you just get a protractor circle, from your kit with your compass and that. You stick it on this house next to me, which is on a road. You put that protractor thing there, and in the winter it comes up on one side, and in the summer it comes up on the other, and it does this sort of. Well, how many inches are they? What is that? A semicircle? No. What is that? 90? No, not even 90 degrees, is it? What do you call? I can't remember. But it goes from one to the other. Is it 360? It can't be 360. It must be 190 degrees. That one, mustn't it?
Yeah, I think it's 180, maybe.
But can I just say, Amy, because we're talking a little bit, and then Amy's going to have a little piece in a minute. When I look out the window and everybody's going, it's circling and all that, and they make these equinoxes, I can't understand how they do it because even the moon, it's come up 2 or 3 times really north, and then I can't see it now. For the last few days, it's been absolutely gigantic, and then obviously as it goes up, it gets smaller. it comes up at different places. 1 minute it's coming in, 1 minute it just appears in the sky. I don't see how they get these equinoxes when the moon and the sun do different things every day. And then when I was in 2016 and 17, when I was really monitoring all this, you could watch the moon come in slow, hang around, go off slow. You could watch a moon come in slow and then go off fast. You could watch a moon come in really fast, which is when it changes the stars. On the Capricorn and Cancer equinox, the moon moves the stars. And because I've seen it, I watched it, but I didn't have a 360 camera and I wasn't watching the other stars. I was just going holy moly out my window because I could see it. But you know, it just does different things, and the sun does the same as well. It's higher and lower, and I know that's what part of the what is it? Not the equinox, the analema is about, but I don't see it making this sort of up and down. I mean, it does different things every day. I mean, for instance, for me, when it gets really hot, the sun has to hang around just in my back garden. So we're looking at like a 1 o'clock kind of time where that's where the sun would be. And then with all that hot weather, it hung there for hours, but it went off really fast. Every night it would whoosh off. I mean, it does it in minutes, whooshes off. But for it to be hot, it had to hang around in my garden at like the 1 o'clock time.
Yeah.
So it's all crazy. So I don't know how they'd have done the analema this year because it hung around in my garden like at 1 o'clock for ages. Obviously now the more south it's going, which it is, I don't know, it just goes whoosh. I just see the sun whooshing off. And then I've actually been following it when I used to work in Newbury, and then I'd be looking at it, and so I just pulled up, put my handbrake on, looked up, and the sun would have gone. Like the moon appears like that, the sun appears and disappears like that. It's just it's bananas, I think, Amy.
Oh, it is, Karen, yes.
It's not that easy to explain how the thing works because it does different things on different days. It's almost, I don't know what you call it. It's like being in a clock almost.
I know.
The cogs. But anyway, what's your thoughts, Amy? Because obviously I don't know if you've monitored the sun or anything.
Yeah, it seems like our sun pretty much sets in the same place.
Well, all the time?
Pretty much all the time, yeah.
You don't see it go more, you don't see it go sort of south or to west. You don't see any change.
No, I mean, it comes up in the east, then it goes to the south.
Yeah. It always comes up in the east. But when you're facing east, there's a north and a south on that east. And in the winter, it comes up in the south, and I don't see it, but it comes up to the road. It's not really the road, but in my perspective, it comes up to the road. And in the summer, it comes up really north, and it goes down to the road and goes across. No circling, these sort of triangles. But do you see any of that?
Yeah, it's definitely like a triangle. It's the way it comes up, and then where it goes, and then it always, even in the winter, sets in the west in the winter and the summer. But it kind of makes like a triangle the way it does it.
Yeah, it might not be just a perfect triangle. It might be a weird shaped triangle, but it just, for that, I mean, we don't know what it's doing behind, but from like in the morning when you can see it and it goes across, it does this sort of, it either goes down to the road and goes right, or goes down to the road and goes left. It's starting to go left, so I don't quite understand how that side works, the southern side, because I'm like, the road is in between me, and I'm on the left-hand side of the road. What it does it comes up though to the road in the winter.
Oh, okay.
It's really weird that, you know, like as a it's a marker for me. The road. And many a night, even with the moon coming up, it can come up almost in front of me, or it looks like it's coming in further down, and then I can see it. It's not really travelling on top of the road, but in perspective from where I see it here, it goes up the road. It's like a track it's on, but there are different tracks. It's all bananas, really. But it always goes. The sun and the moon never go over my house, but they nearly did this year with that hot weather.
Yes, I remember that. You said that.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I thought it's almost touching my house. I've never had that before. So I got this feeling that we're not moving, through the galaxies and all that. We're stationary,
right.
but I still wondered whether we were moving round. But that's just my
Yeah,
thoughts, because our weather seems to be changing. We'll have to see what this winter's like. But last winter we had such a mild winter and a great summer for weeks,
yes.
and now on Unscrambled I put out a video about an abandoned lightning machine in Russia that's been left. And you think, why would they be doing lightning? But I've often thought maybe the clouds come from Russia. And I got on an
Oh,
aeroplane with Ellie about 2016. It was cloudy here, and the cloud didn't disappear until the Alps, and the Alps are 1,000 miles away.
oh wow, yeah.
So we had 1,000
The
miles of cloud. Where the hell's
buzz.
that coming from?
Oh, I don't know. Do you think it was man-made clouds or
Could be.
that
I
it
mean,
was,
they've lied so much about what England is, what it does, its role in this whole Roman thing.
yeah,
I told you I've spotted by accident these crafts out there, the triangle ones. It's my camera that's picked them up. So if there's a
yeah,
lot of because you don't hear them, your camera picks them up. Your camera's the one that picks up a lot of the things that are flying around the sun. So,
right.
if it's got cloud all around it, we don't see what's going on. And what it is
That's
the reason
true.
I think that we become quite important again is that, I've often asked American people when they see the Big Dipper, it's all so stretched over their sky. They might not see all of it. They might only see a bit of it because everything's so
Yeah,
stretched. But we're not here.
that's
England is quite north here because I've been to Denmark, which is supposed to be, what is that? That's, what's that? That's, so that would be
to the east.
east, northeast. It would be northeast. So east, but up a bit. And I saw the Big Dipper in her garden. It wasn't in her garden. Like, the Big Dipper goes round my house. It is quite a big track, but obviously it's not like America. But in her world, it was
Yeah.
smaller. It was over in a field, and it was going round and round there. So maybe she is a bit more north, but I don't know. It goes round my house. We get such a good view of the stars here.
I know.
And I
That's
just don't
so.
understand
It
how
was,
nobody knows that the moon moves the stars twice a month on the equinoxes, the Capra and Cancer and Capricorn. When you see it racing through the sky, you think, wow, I can see the moon moving. That is when it's racing to
yeah,
get those stars and do its da-dung and go off. But, no one else has come to me except Malk, because I said, the Big Dipper, I can see it turning round. And all those stars
yeah,
are not a constellation in the globe world. But they do work together, and Malk saw it, and he said, wow, I watched it turning round. You've got to keep looking away, and it takes a few hours to realise that you're watching what you're watching. But
yes.
nobody else has come to me and said, oh yeah, I've seen that, or I understand that. Nobody else does, and I just can't believe we're 2021 and nobody realises that is what the moon does. Its job is to work the sky. It moves the stars
That's
round. It makes our seasons.
definitely yes.
I don't know. I just find that
That's great.
incredible. But I mean, that's why I like
Me
Preston,
too.
because Preston does, from his perspective, where he is in America, he's doing research as well, and he does a lot of looking at the sun and things.
Yes, that's really good that he does that. I tried to check it out, and the moon was really unusual a few nights ago. It was really bright, and it was kind of, I don't know what that was around it, if it was a cloud, but it was
Halo.
really bright.
But you
Yeah.
know what? It's called a
And
phenomenon, that thing. But if you can see it in your perspective, that halo is not very far away. So neither is the moon.
no, yeah, it looked like it was just in the trees or something.
I mean, we'd
I
all
was
like
going
to
to
know
take
how
a
far away the
picture.
moon is. But again, if it's in a multi-dimensional thing, because I have done high-altitude balloons looking at them, and the sun is above in the black, but it doesn't make the black light. It's just black with the sun in
Right.
it. But if it's multi-dimensional, it's there and here at the same time. I don't quite know how it all works, but it's got to be like that. Because it's up there and it's
Yes.
not out of our environment, it's still with us, but it's a little bit higher, maybe the real one, and for some reason through the dimensions, it's here and there at the same time.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
You know, sun and moon over the years, I've tried to tell people. I put out that one about the fourth dimension, and he explains that as best as possible. You know, try and put out information as much as you can so that you're. I mean, most people are informed, to be honest. But if you're not, then you get the information as best as we can do, because no one's helping us.
That's true. That's right, but nobody's helping. I
mean, we can't even work out how far away the moon is, can we?
No. What do they say is the distance? What is the...
It's 260 or 70,000 miles away, but as we can only see for about 5 miles, we wouldn't see it.
Right.
So, as you can only see for, say, 5 miles, it's got to be in that 5 miles because you can see the craters on it.
Yes.
I mean, once, you know, a lot of people, when they look at the stars, say the big one, you can find everything out in your camera, but then you can almost see it with your eye anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's how close they are.
Yes.
The stars look like they're a little bit above the clouds. But as the clouds are only a quarter of a mile away, maybe the stars are half a mile to a mile away. And I think when they're in the sky, everything travels, like distance is a lot more up there. That's why it's harder to work the sun out, I think. Say it was on the ground, you might be able to work out its distance. But up there, because I just remember when people tell me, like, they've spotted planes which say that they're 150 miles away and they can still see them in the sky. And not just that, one of my parents' friends, he was telling me, see the plane there? Because he worked at Gatwick. That is over France, that's over the sea, that's over the land, now it's landing. And it wasn't very much time. Obviously, I lived near Gatwick then, in Sussex. But, you know, so it's hard, because when you first spot it, it's got to be about 100 and something miles away. 200 miles away. You can still see it. And then, yeah, that's what happens. It's a bit bizarre with the sky. Everything. So, say you put something up there, it'd be great to do an experiment to see how far away people could see that.
Oh, that's right.
If you had an object, say, half a mile up that was quite big, I don't know if you could do it. But how many people would see that? How far away people would see the thing in the sky? Because you can see, there's no, what do you call it? There's nothing obstructing what we're seeing up there, is it? Except bloody cloud. There's nothing obstructing it. Whereas on land, there's trees, houses. In fact, you can't even see down the street, can you? Because there's houses there.
Yes.
So everything's blocked and you can't work it out. But I just think so it might not be as high as you think again. It's just that everything up there is seen for further. Something like that, Amy.
Yeah, that makes sense, Karen.
Yeah, but it's just annoying. As I, you know, in my time before I go, I want to know where the sun and moon are, what they are, and what we live on. I really do want to know that.
I know. I think a lot of us do.
And just be honest about the history. Yeah, you're the baddies and you took over and you've made our life hell and you farm us for everything when we're alive and probably when we're dead. Because I even thought about that. Christian has been talking about gold. I'm going to have a hang out with Christian. And what he was saying was that gold comes from humans. So the higher the carats in the gold, the older that body is. And then you think about it, you know, they seem to have moved us around so much. And a lot of the crypts, because that's obviously where people were originally buried, is maybe where they're getting the gold from. So they're not really mining. They're mining our bodies for gold. Our heart makes gold.
I mean, well, that's cool.
Yeah, so
I think
they actually, you know, they want us dead maybe a couple of 100 years so they can farm us for our gold. I don't know. The whole thing is just, it's all bananas. I just wish they'd go, to be honest.
Me too.
We're on the platform that supports them.
Yes.
Is them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we have to be careful what we say, but I'd love it if they went.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But anyway, we just wanted to show a little bit of information. I just wondered if people had noticed how the sun moves in your area. Obviously, mine's a little bit different to Preston's. His moves a little bit differently because, like I said, the distance, I bet you he's only got a few hours difference in his night and day. And then, so each day would only have to be a small amount of time it's got to change to get from one to the other. But we've got 6-7 hours change, so it's a bit more.
Yeah.
I don't think people realise. I don't
like,
think it even bothered me, but you know, it gets dark at 3:30, Amy.
oh my gosh! In the winter, it's 3:30.
I mean, we've got to be. I mean, we're not 24 hours of dark, are we? But we only get 6-7 hours a day. We've got to be fairly north for that.
Yeah.
How many night hours do? What does it change? What time does it in December? What time does it get dark? And in June, what time does it?
I say about 4:30, 4:30. It gets dark in December, and in June it's about 9 o'clock that it gets dark.
Okay, so that's still like that's 4 hours, isn't it?
Yes, about 4.5 hours. Yes. Yeah. So
I think Preston's in sort of more in the middle of America, to be honest. I can't remember where he lives now.
Yeah, see, I'm on the East Coast of America, right on the East Coast.
I thought I'd do a video about this at some point, but I watch this channel. It's their information, but I keep seeing things when they're talking. Like he's the one that made me realise that half of China was with Everest on it. So it had what are they? The Himalayas and then Everest. And not many people live on that bit. So 3/4 of China live down below on the flat land, and then they've got the Himalayas. And he said the same about America. He said more people live on your side of America than live California side.
Yes, I believe it. And I mean,
imagine you've got like if you look at a map, there's quite a lot of water in the middle of America, like lakes and all sorts of things. And you think more people live on the right to me than, you know, New York side to California side. More people live on New York side.
Right, that's the side I'm on.
Is that weird though? I never realised that. I mean, what do they say? More people live down south than up north? I don't know.
I don't know what they say, but I would think it would be more up north, where you have those big cities like New York and Boston, Philadelphia. So I think
nobody lives in. Is it which one is it? The one that's half derelict now. That's.
Detroit.
Yeah,
yes.
Half of that's gone.
Yes. Now that is in Michigan, so that's more in the middle
but
of
there is
America.
These differences. We're even getting dark. Like, say for instance, the sun starts to go and everything. About an hour later, it's dark. In the winter, it's a bit quicker. But a lot of places, they go, oh, it's getting dark. It's dark. It's quite quick. It takes minutes. Some people tell me it takes minutes for them. But usually, you know, it's not an hour in the winter, but in the summer it's an hour. And it is a period of time. You know, maybe it's half an hour in the winter, but it's a period of time before it gets dark. But other places, dark's coming, it's dark. It takes minutes.
Yes. So I know. That's how it is in the winter here. It seems like it just, all of a sudden it gets dark. And then the sun comes up pretty late, it seems like. So in the winter, the sun doesn't come up till 6:30, 7 in the morning, and then it's down by 4:30. So it's a lot of hours.
As I've got older, I'm not very much into this being dark nearly all the time. I don't like it. It's not just the cold weather. I just don't like it. I like long days with the sun in it.
Me too.
My window open, just cheeping birds. I don't like the winter that much, but we live in a place that gets quite a different...
Riley's favorite.
Well, Amy, we're going to play Preston's video after this to hear what he says. And it just sparked me to make a video because mine's quite similar to what he's talking about, but I think it's just the timing, because obviously we have more hours to get dark and more hours to get light, so the timing's a bit longer here. But I get to see all the stars every night all around my house. Whereas in America, you might get a bit of it, like the big bit of a Big Dipper goes over or something.
Yes, that's all we get.
That's weird,
We
isn't it?
never. It really
So it's
is.
obviously magnified to your country, whereas ours is a lot
Yeah,
smaller or something.
yeah, something like
I
that.
just find that really weird.
I do too.
And that we have, like, we lately have been watching a few videos. It seems that well, it could be two suns, but I think sometimes I've done it myself. If you film through a double window, like this one here, it's got double glazing, an aeroplane, double glaze. It's two pieces of glass. You can see the moon and the sun, and there's another one, but I think that's the window. But a lot of people are reporting two suns, but they're not that far away from each other. Remember, I did one.
Yes.
Look, what's that bright light over there? But look over there. There's another one over there. So one's going down, and there's another one. But I've seen that myself. Like the sun is over there, and then behind the sun there is a bright patch. That is really weird. But we get cloud here. But maybe that's why we have cloud. Right, there's going to be. They'll be able to see it. Cloud it up.
Yes. Yeah.
No.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, how can we see the same sun?
Oh, I know. That's another thing.
Amy, was, I've got that video with the map going out. I haven't put that one out yet. It changes how big the land is. So once you so Russia is about 3 times the size of Africa, but in reality, it's about 2/3 the size of Africa. So, they stretch that right across a map, but it's much smaller. So what are we really looking at? Obviously, they make Greenland really big when Greenland's very small. We've done that one. And even America, I told you, Australia in his map is bigger than America. Now, isn't that amazing?
Yes. Yeah, I would have never thought that.
Yeah, the video will be out in the next few days on the map one. It might have even been out when this video plays, so hopefully you'll have seen it or it's waiting to go out. But at the moment, it's waiting to go out. And you're thinking, well, if you put those together, then there isn't so much land and we'd be a different shape. So maybe you're not as far away as we think you are. I mean, we watched one army plane that was flying out to the sea loads to get rid of time. The people in the plane wouldn't have known they were just flying around.
Right.
I don't quite know how they do it.
Me neither.
But the really strange thing is, when I came to America, we flew past Greenland straight to Bangor, Maine, and then we went down and we stopped at Bangor, Maine. I was with Freddie Laker, who don't fly anymore, but we stopped there, picked some more passengers up, and then we went down to California. But I thought that's really strange, because on a map it looks like I should be flying to you and across. But no, we went up to Bangor, Maine, which is just inside, I think Bangor, Maine is, I can't remember if it's just inside America or just inside Canada. So you're on the border with Canada.
That would be America, Bangor, Maine.
Okay, so just inside America, but you're on the border to Canada. So you're right up there. Yeah. So why are we up there?
I know. I would have thought you would have just flown straight across from England, just straight across. But
it
you
looks
had
like
to go
it'd be quicker to go to yours and across, really.
Yeah.
But it almost makes it look like you're lower down than us then, because you've got Canada.
Yeah, I think we are a little lower down than you.
But you're smaller than Australia.
Yeah.
After all that, Amy, America is about 2/3 the size. Well, in the thing you can see it's smaller than Australia. Sorry about that, Americans. Australia is in the map one is bigger than America.
Oh, yeah, darn it.
And very quickly before we go, although this isn't really about Preston's and the stars and the moon, but that video of Washington with the laurel on, I want to scream.
Oh, I know.
Honestly, you can go to the internet now and just put in Washington with a laurel. You can find it on on coins, and you can find it with pictures they took when he was younger. Obviously, as he slightly got older, you remember him with the sideburns and the suit. I've never seen him with a laurel on. And when you look at it, you know he's a Roman.
Yes, he looks Roman.
I'm just a bit gobsmacked with that. I mean, he had to be, really, because of the timing. But, he's George III, and he got a corporation, and
No.
Nothing's what you think it is, and it's all just bananas. I just wish they'd tell us the truth. I don't see why they
Me
can't.
too.
Because
I don't either.
to not tell us the truth, it must have meant we were living somewhere really nice.
Yes.
And then these things
Yeah.
took over somehow. Or we're living
Yes.
underground, or then I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Me neither. It just makes you wonder why they won't tell the truth.
Or it's just like people go, well, look, if we put everything on a screen, they're going to believe us.
That's right.
And then they've set off for the last at least 100 years, fooling everybody. Fooling you into believing we've got WARSs and just everything when we don't.
Yes.
We've just come out of something for the last 3 years. Well, not just come out, but yeah, the last 3 years of fooling us.
Yes. It's horrible.
And there's no need to do all this to us. And when you wake up and realise that's what, it makes you so angry.
Yes, it does.
Because everything's a show. You've got the political show, the royal show. It's all shows.
Right. And then if we don't, when we wake up, then it's hard to interact with all the people that still aren't awake because they're into all of it. And then we see it for what it is. So,
yeah, I see people each week, but when I try to tell them things, they think I'm crazy.
Oh, yeah. Me too. Yes.
But you're not. And you're just, but I think what it is I think we're quite, the people who've woken up they're clever people. All of us that have woken up. We must be, because we've woken up and most people are sheep. And
yes.
we're a bit eccentric.
Right,
and
that's
you try
right.
and explain it to someone and they go, no, and then that turns me off. That's why I couldn't go on the streets and do it, because once you said no to me 20 times, I go, I'm going home now.
I know.
I like just being with awake people.
Yes, me too. It takes a lot of courage to get out in the streets, and be able to tell people the truth.
I do it on the phone as a one-to-one, like someone rings me up and I'll end up telling them before they go.
Yes.
But, yeah, anything else then? Because obviously we were talking about the sun. I see no circling. The thing comes up, like, get that protractor, stick it on the house next to me, and then in the winter it's on what is that? On the end, and then it's at one end, and then in the winter, summer, it's up the other end, and it does this. I suppose it's half a semicircle, isn't it? So that'll be 180 because it's 360 is a full one. So it does this 180-degree change from winter to summer.
Yes, that's fascinating.
But I don't see any circling. I must admit, it annoys me a bit when people think that we're on something circling and all that. It's rubbish. And then, I did see a video that what they did to make the Gleason map was they get the map and they pick it up and they just turn it into a ball, and then they lay it flat and turn it into a ball and lay it flat. So that's how they do the Gleason then. Or they morph it to make the ice rink. Morph. And then you get the Gleason map.
Yes.
All these ways of obstructing what's really going on. It's just terrible, isn't it? And there's just probably a few researchers. There's not many that understand what the moon does. I'm really shocked people watching the moon don't see that. Someone told me, see. I don't speak to him now. He had a few problems in his life. But he told me to go and watch. He said, what do you see? I said, I saw the moon. I could see the moon coming in west, but it was going south. And it was going really fast. And then I watched it come back, and then I could see it had stars with it. It did like a heartbeat sign. So it goes down, comes back north, drops them off, and then goes west. So it goes do-doing, do-doing. Like a heartbeat. And I remember Dave, what's his name?
Manoff?
No, the moon one. Dave... I can't think of his surname. Anyway, he... pardon? The one that works... comes from up north. Oh my God, I've forgotten his surname. That is really weird.
Marsh?
That's it. Oh my God. Sorry, Dave Marsh. Dave Marsh. He noticed things with the moon.
I'm
surprised that he hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
But obviously
I
we
mean, that is,
struggle here because obviously we get 9,000 more times of cloud than you do.
yeah, that's right. Although sometimes we feel like we have as many clouds as you.
Yeah.
I know you have more. That is so. I wish we will, or I hope someday we all will know what it really is.
Me too, Amy.
Yes.
I mean, you know what I've thought as well? We're going and we're going to listen to Preston's video in a second, but I actually think that when people see the dark spots on the sun, that is not dark spots. Those are the spaceships. Whatever those things are up there, that's them.
Yeah, that's what makes
There's no
the
dark
spots.
Those are whatever they are, that's them.
Yeah, that. So where do you think they're coming from then?
I don't know, because they're not in our dimension. They're in another dimension. I mean,
In the
on
other
research, we
dimension.
reckon the sun was in the 10th dimension. We can't see the 10th dimension. We can only see the 3rd dimension. So for us, we see what we see. But now we're seeing those things quite often that we didn't see, and loads of people are capturing them. I don't know, but those black things that you can see are those things flying around the sun, wherever they are. And loads of people have caught them, and it's happening 24 hours a day. When that sun is up, those things are flying around it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they are.
Strange,
They're pulling the
yes.
sun, Amy. But then if you listen to the Boogeyman channel, although he's called something else maybe now, but Boogeyman, he told us on numerous hangouts that there are tracks up there, and he thinks NASA are attached themselves to the tracks.
Oh, that's right.
And he calls them buckyballs. If he said it's all buckyballs up there.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that could be too. That's a possibility.
But anyway, we're going to finish now because we've been. How long do you think we've been going?
About a half an hour.
37 minutes, Amy. That's quite good, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I said we'll talk just for a few minutes and then we'll put Preston's video on. But I like Preston because he does do his own research. And the reason I was attracted to Preston in the first place was he was doing a lot about the moon, and I liked what he said about the cycles. He made me think more about watching the moon and realising, oh my God, yes, the moon goes in front of the sun and behind the sun and in front of the sun and behind the sun. And then I think when it goes in front of the sun, it's more daytime, and behind the sun, it's more nighttime.
Yeah.
He made me think about that because he was watching it, and so every day he put a post out for a while, saying, or very frequently put posts out to say what he'd seen.
Yes. Yeah, that's really good.
Anyway, without further ado, Amy, we're going to watch Preston's video, and thank you so much for helping me, and yeah, thank you, Amy.
You're welcome, Karen. I love you. Bye, darling.
Bye, everybody, and just listen to Preston after this.
How's it going? I wanted to share this meme with you guys. It's somebody took a picture facing east once a month at the same time every day. And it shows it looks like the sun rises from a different spot every month. But each day, the sun rises a minute and 45 seconds later each day. So that's 20 minutes each month. So if you were to go out at the same time, same location, a month later, the sun had already been moving for 20 minutes. It makes its most lateral movement east to west when the sun is rising. So if it's the beginning of equinox, the beginning of the solstice, it already been moving for 20 to 60 minutes towards you. That's when it's making its most movement, like this way, east to west. So that in the meme is why you're seeing each month look different. If you were to take the same picture later that month, the lights are on circuits, not orbits. Read your Bible.